received an emergency request from the spokesman asking for our help in freeing a VIP sympathetic to the Resistance cause. Advent forces are holding the captive somewhere in this area, and we're expecting a steady contingent of reinforcements to back them up. Lock down the area, eliminate all hostile resistance, and secure the VIP.
Welcome back to some more Tetchim, some more Longmore of the Chosen. Quick follow-up to previous, to last episode. So, I was very confused about the Shadowborn tooltip. Nothing changed about the functionality of Shadowborn.
We have a confirmed location for the VIP. Move to rendezvous. Eliminate all hostile contacts.
So it still works as long as the enemy doesn't see you, doesn't have vision of you. I just had probably some localization mod that changed it to actually say that, you know, if you're not visible to the enemy, and some mod update unintentionally reverted that to the original tooltip that has always been misleading, talking about concealment. So just to, you know, put that out there, functionality is still the same, nothing changed. Nobody thought it's overpowered and needs to be changed. That we can move on to this mission. That is, those are some nice city centers.
Almost there.
Advent got me on their side here. Looks like nobody's around though to play with us.
Let's move it up. I'll be there soon, Commander.
Still, I was surprised how well the Hunter voice pack works for a soldier.
You got it.
That's gotta be okay.
Bad news?
Is actually kind of bad news. Can they flank you depending on where they move? Maybe. Alright, so how do we want to do this? Let's get you a little bit to the right so that we see all of the jokers. Could we just spit on them? Should not be that lucky. You could go really deep in there. Go here.
Make haste. My blade thirsts for blood.
Okay, bin unterwegs. Going.
All being flanked by the guys, but you know, if they reveal Bonk, then they also reveal the others. So there's no reason to keep them in the back. Oh, I guess I could have. Which damage is this doing? Any 3 to 5? And that's not going to kill anyone there unless we get super lucky. I always forget that I do have double time. It's usually kind of a more late game skill on most classes. Alright, interesting. How are we feeling here? I think we're feeling a P grenade. Which might not get any kills. Would like to get some more kills on Jet, you know, we can try to keep him up snuff, or we could just spit on all of them. Again, unlikely to kill. Well, you know, if we're lucky, we kill the sentry. But it's non-turn ending, and then we can clean up the rest of the squad. And I'm fairly certain it's guaranteed to hit. Talking about getting more kills with Jet. Might be AP grenade now. Make sure I wasn't hitting my own guy there. Scratch cutter here. It's a free action and then keep on moving.
None can stand in my way and survive. So you require my aid. How expected.
Yeah! I might need to do a little trespassing soon. Maybe get inside some places where I'd rather not be seen going in.
Bin dabei!
I'll coordinate the attack. But you understand that this could all backfire.
Yeah. Everybody's very concerned here. I haven't really heard much of the enemies. Makes me somewhat concerned. So now we're just gonna blue move it up.
Wird gemacht!
Will you just let's go? I got it from here.
Wait outside the building for a turn here. Listen for movement.
Wait. We should take the fight to the enemy.
Yeah, kinda should.
Kein Problem!
Anything up top? Yeah. Storm in the building then.
That's a bold strategy.
Let's go, let's go, let's go!
There. Okay, you're down. Everybody else overwatches. Ah, finally we hear somebody. It's open also.
Oh yeah, you were real scary.
E. There's the other group in there. Alright. One guy went somewhere back here. That's what we're gonna do. You're gonna come over there. Oh, you're bigger than I thought. I was thinking I can kill whatever that was with Scotch Cutter and then throw the grenades, but looks like this is a cutter into sort of situation.
And expect always fall.
Feel like we might just try to dodge the Sedated, maybe. We can slither here. I think I'm gonna slither down here. Let's actually use double time. So we only spent a move action. We might activate the guys inside. We did not. Okay, maybe we can get away without activating them at all. Hit here, a little shotgun there. What a nice flip. And that's some oomph to it.
Schon unterwegs.
77. Zap is 97. Might not get the kill. Here's one for the mathematics. Is it better to sure at 77 with 23% chance to graze? If our goal is to get 4 damage. I have no idea if that. No. I'm not gonna argue with results. So clearly it was the better choice. The game kinda told me that the last enemies are somewhere in there. Can we take advantage of that information? Not really. I mean, we do have an underbarrel flamethrower here. So part of me thinks we can probably just kill them. Or we just overwatch and play it safe.
Right. Check. I hope you're ready.
I got it from here.
Could have smoked up. Okay, so they just don't want to play here. That's cool.
Thanks for the heads up.
Where do you guys think you're going? I think this might be a Advent barbecue and everybody's invited. No, I guess the officer didn't read his emails about the invite.
Woo, let's do this.
Hopefully the guy on the table is actually dead. He's dead now. Not shoot the barrel. What damage on that one? Okay.
She never fails me.
Let's have a quick look here. Hacking score. We've got a bunch of freeze. There's a 9 there. Get over here. You incredible hacker. You're gonna be in time. Sure, I'm sure we'll be fine. Just in case, let's have Jet stand there. And you're gonna take a step away from the fire. And you will pick up the trash for me. It was surprisingly untrashy. Where do you think you're going? Alright, Mr. Hacker Man. Yeah, the lack of actual proper hackers in this campaign so far is kind of crazy.
Schalte Ihre Sicherheit aus.
I want an advanced PCS here. With such a hacking roll, that's basically guaranteed. Okay, somebody can leech a kill there. Do we still just feed Jet here? I mean, if you, well, unlikely actually, because unless you crit this, you did crit it, but a low damage roll crit. You know, I guess Bonk gets the kill XP. That's fine.
Let's get this over with.
Do I have control? We do have control.
All right.
I better pick up the pace.
Just like that.
Oblivion
We are pretty much almost all
Alles klar.
out and ready to evac.
Come on, come on! Yeah, that just happened!
This is Firebrand. VIP is secure.
Commander. Rücke aus.
I couldn't have
Ah.
hoped for a better outing today.
You know, after those more spicy missions earlier the week, I'm kind of happy with doing some relaxing 7 to 9 missions. We have a lot of soldiers, all the abilities, and everything is just going smooth. That works. That works. Okay. Also, we might actually start throwing you into officer training. And we actually don't just have an officer on paper, but get an officer. Because we kind of want to try the fire officer as soon as possible.
By dissident elements operating outside of the city centers have done little to slow the progress of Advent's ongoing development or outreach programs. Voluntary citizen emigration numbers are reported.
Our troops continue to exceed expectations while working with limited resources. Impressive, Commander.
Alright, our Buccaneer is gonna pick up Dogpile. So when they are standing next to an enemy and somebody shoots at that enemy, they follow up with a melee attack. That is a reaction attack. So, you know, reduced chance to hit, can't crit, all of that. But it's still gonna be value, hopefully. Ranger. Did they? I don't think the Ranger was got a rework now. I think we're gonna stay with the shooty Ranger build here and just keep on keeping on. And our electrician. So we're kind of low-ish aim, right? So I think, what do we have? Target focus. I'm not sure if I made up my mind previously on trying to go for arc thrower. So electricians kind of they used to be the absolute mech killer. They had some abilities here that would just shut down mechs for good, like, and that was deemed a little bit too strong, and I kind of see that. So now they're still good against mechanicals, right? You know, you get the 20 extra aim here, 10 extra aim against unflankable enemies, but not overwhelmingly so. The biggest downside is really that outside of thousands to go, you don't have any sort of... No, hang on, isn't... Electric Storm, it's a non-turn ending shot. Okay, so we can shoot multiple times a turn once we get to Master Sergeant. Well, twice. I still think, you know, even though our aim isn't fantastic, I still think we go for cannon. Like 20 aim in the early game, we're still kind of in the early game, right? That this just kills drones so well, I think. Maybe. I don't know. Alright, crazy. Coming on in here. First of all, let's have a look at Bonk's random promotion. Base hex score of 1. I'm not sure you're gonna be my new specialist here, but what are you gonna be? Hitman, Commando, or Rook? We don't have a Hitman or Rook, right? Interesting. Didn't pick up a Rook just yet. From Rookie to Rook. This will sometimes look a little bit weird with the shield and the assault rifle. You wonder why everybody else was always using both hands for the assault rifle when you can just, you know, wield it in a single hand. So, they come with a shield and they start off with Protect and Serve. So they gain a non-movement action after using Shield Wall. So you can always, every turn, Shield Wall and then shoot, or Shield Wall and Overwatch, and, you know, just always remember to Shield Wall. Also, when they Shield Wall, they release defensive smoke onto themselves and nearby enemies, like 1 tile radius. Then also, you know, actual armor that does something. Cannot be shredded 1 point of armor. Enemy shred effects are reduced by 1. I'm not sure if they can be reduced to 0 or if the enemies will always at least shred 1. And we have a shot that reduces enemy aim, crit, and defense and dodge. Like defense and dodge are the big ones, making it easier for the other friendlies to follow up. And it does bonus damage against psionic units. And so basically you can build them in a more aggressive way with shield charge, extra mobility, extra moves. A little bit focused, I guess, more around the shield charge damage, and then Dervish to reset it. And then you can, there's an Overwatch spec here where once per turn, when you get activate Shield Wall, you get Overwatch. Which, hey, I'm pretty much always activating Shield Wall. So lots of overwatching happening there. And then you can have a more supporty role with the smoke cloud they provide, also giving extra aim. 10 aim here, another 20 aim there. Smoke wall cleansing effects. Giving extra shields to friendlies. But this, like, you're not killing anything, and keep in mind the smoke cloud is just 1 tile radius around the soldier, so can be tricky to actually get the buffs onto your friends. I'm not sure. It's a matter to LS in the vicinity. Can I file a feature request for specifying vicinity? Like on a compared to the endless size of the universe, anyone on the planet would be in the vicinity, right? You can even say, yeah, people on Mars would still be in the vicinity of Earth compared to the universe. I don't think that's how it works. Anyway, what else do we have here? Bolstered Wall. 20 bonus dodge when Shield Wall is in effect. So basically always. Blinding Fire, Implacable Kill Zone. Well, we'll have to see what we do with you. I'm not 100% sold yet. Okay, and then we have... You just don't have a class. Well, you still... I mean, it's still showing the old Keeper perks. So interesting that it's still new they existed. But no, we gotta do a rebuild selected soldier as class, and then not as Crasher, but as Keeper. And yeah, I think we keep her as a Keeper. And we will have to then do the respec command afterwards to actually pick up the randomized stats. So this is now defaulted to the default stats that you have, but we were playing with not created equally, so everybody gets random stats. And this should be your previous random stats. Negative dodge, but you know, actually we have one more aim and one more mobility. It's pretty good. Okay, let me actually just go out and get back in. Although it already had the new perks. So what do we have on the new Keeper? Start with the grapple gun. You learn quick study. Hello. Haven't seen you in a long time. You start with combat presence. Use defense by 30 and dodge by 50 until you move. Oh, so you hit it once, and until you move over multiple turns, it's still gonna be active. Okay, alright. Squad sight and long range with a sniper rifle. So we can turn you into a sniper, but you can't, you know, quick study, combat presence, by my command. There's some officer stuff here that I kind of like. Battle presence. Use combat presence cooldown by 3 turns. That is wild. Okay, alright. Or you know, oh no, that's for allies. I never knew. 4 turn cooldown. Okay, alright. Coordinated fire. I've never been a fan of. Okay, resupply ammo. Bandage throw. What is supply run? Spam is entire. Okay, reload one friendly. We know that. Heal over time. Stop bleeding on a friendly. Okay, familiar with that. Using resupply ammo or bandage throw on an ally gains a move only action. So you can keep up the squad while throwing out free stuff. And then there's airstrike. Okay. So this is more the officer kind, which, you know, that combat presence and quick study kind of leans very much into officer. But let's look at the other trees. We got aim. So when you hunker down, you aim, and entrench counts as hunker down. So as long as you don't move, you constantly have this active. Count as full cover, 10 in 10 crit chance. Okay, this is basically damn good ground, but better. So if we're in a sniper position, right? Let me just recap that. If we're in a sniper position with entrench active, we on high ground against lower ground enemies, we have 40 aim, 40 crit from aim, steady hands, Eel's Nest. Alright, that seems not terrible. Looking shots. Oh yeah, and we get extra damage for standing still. I wonder, so there's this whole thing with grappling, right? Where if you steady weapon with when you have a stock, right? Steadying weapon and then grappling to a new position doesn't count as movement for steady, and you're still going to be steadied up there. I wonder if grappling counts as a move to break entrench, or if it doesn't count as a move. Alright, Apex Predator, critical hits with your weapon, a chance to panic, a target and nearby enemies. That's basically like Fearsome, but kind of different. Instead of Fearsome, you know, and whatever, the brutality, what we're looking up last episode, are like fixed percentages. Here it's dependent on the target's will, which always make me feel like this is even worse. Yeah, it looks great, under 25%, but towards the late game, as enemies' willpower goes up, you're not scaling this, right? This is not getting any better, it's just getting worse with more advanced enemies showing up. Bullseye is solid shot. Okay, and then up here, I guess this is overwatching stuff. Covering fire, shooting sharp bandit. Maybe not so much overwatching stuff. Ooh. Could be an auto sniper build. Or just because you're shooting so much, return a little bit of ammo. Pressure ready for anything, kill zone. Alright, what do we have down here? We have rapid reaction, call for fire, nimble hands, disarming shot. Don't move, tactic sense. So, in terms of weapon choices, we can equip assault rifles, we can equip SMGs, we can equip sniper rifles. That's a tough one, because I think we rolled decently high on aim. We have some. But didn't we have 16 mobility a second ago? Am I dreaming? I might have misread the numbers there. So I feel like on the one hand we have high aim, so I kind of want to take advantage of that. We have perks that kind of scream, hey, you want to be overwatching. So that's very tempting. The problem, I kind of have a problem with long watch, as in, you know, if you have a forward scout and they spot somebody and then your long watch shot activates enemy groups halfway across the map. That is probably not where I would want to be. The other thing is the whole officer approach. Combat presence is this really strong ability. This is kind of you know, it's nice to have, but it's not going to give us any squad power. Neither is paramedic. Like, until we get to buy my command and actually have some officer ranks, we gain very little out of this. The problem, or the concern I have here a little bit, is that if I'm gonna go full sniper, then I'm probably so far away from the rest of the squad that my combat presence is not gonna have much use. Or if I use combat presence, then I can't fire my sniper rifle. So we could go for just stay with the assault rifle and go into Overwatch. But again, there's like so little early game power here. It's kinda really bad. Like, I see a lot of potential late game, but man, it's gonna be pretty dire until you get to like Staff Sergeant or so. So my other concern is, and sorry for taking so long with this, officer candidates. Jet, we're training a hijacker. You know, they're not going to be an officer anytime soon. Our stealthy saboteur with his grenade traps can be an officer. Everybody else kinda doesn't want to be an officer. Maybe Jason? But I think we were going for shotgunny stuff, weren't we? Yeah, that's not officer. So I think I'm gonna commit to some sort of officer kinda related build here. So let's take supply pack for now. And we definitely want to have these, right? These are kind of good to have. I'm really wondering if there's a room for running with the assault rifle and still just picking up cool under pressure and rapid reaction. Like, paramedic is not bad. I'm just wondering if then Eagle's Nest here, partial cover counting as full cover, gives me a lot of options for mobility, for where I can safely stand still. And I kind of want to team you up with our combat medic, so you can reduce their grapple, justice, wrath cooldowns, or reset them rather. I wonder if you can have two soldiers that have manual overriding each other every other turn. Okay, enough of that. What's this? A bond? With Pensive? Let me see. And Pensive has a bond with Snake. I think I kind of like this. I like this bond. Yeah. Like a custom picture. Wow, it's so far zoomed out. Yeah. Admit it. That's who you bond with. She's ready to. Can I bind now? No, not bind. Bond. Oh. This is the disappointed face. Misunderstood the assignment. This is a. Hang on. I was going to say a double sniper, not nice, but you are actually the melee cell, the sort of shotgun survivalist. So I think we're taking this bond too. Actual photo of what happened during the mission.
Near an Advent burger menu. For science, of course.
Thank you, Mr. Teigen. Alright. There's a lot of looking at stuff in the menus. Alright, and another engineer that we can get and then not assign to any job. Like it. Okay, so this was the one we couldn't fully infiltrate. The scientist. 94%, and it's still guarded, right? So we get the 10 to 12. Miner, combat medic, pyro, and saboteur. And again, I forgot to check before it gets here to check the current force level to see if we already have to face harder enemies Or if we're still good here with 10 to 12. What's my intel? Like, I'm always feeling somewhat confident if I have somebody in the squad that can set multiple people on fire. Got the emulator with a high velocity nozzle. Hang on that note. How does this work again? Target enemy in a cone, you will take a reaction, camouflage attack. The enemy will also attacks. The attack will trigger while you're concealed and break concealment. So we can use it for an ambush. Okay. But this is a VIP extract. We don't have concealment. You for scouting, we got you for sniping whatever we scout, and then you two to finish it off. I'm feeling lucky. We're gonna take it. Not gonna boost it. And hope for the best. But that's gonna happen. Central. We got all the supplies that we need. That's gonna happen. Hang on. Do we actually want to get the officer training school?
Guerrilla Tactics School facility upgraded.
I was going to say that's gonna happen in the next episode. We're gonna throw Chad into officer training, and now we're gonna put a cut in here. Thanks for watching. See you next time.